possible to be even out of your parents' house?
I think the question should be what's wrong with Singaporeans.
Welcome back. We've been talking about what are desirable values in a relationship, but I think that we have also to match that against reality. But before we do that, our guest, which couldn't make it because she was caught in a jam, is here. So may I welcome Grace Sui.
Yes, thank you very much.
Hi, Grace.
Sorry, I am late. Sorry.
Now, apologize and tell us tell us about yourself.
Okay, okay, hi, my name's Grace. Thank you for showing me Grace. Sorry I'm late, by the way. I'm actually a script writer. So I write for a company that does educational videos. Yeah, and actually we met before because he's going to be the host for one of the videos that we're going to produce. Yeah, so actually I aspire to be a filmmaker. So right now just being a scribe minion for now. Yeah.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Are you looking for a husband?
You cook and clean? Because Chris wants that.
Yes, I cook and clean, but I'm not really looking for a husband. No, not really.
But
Yeah.
when you do, what do you look for in a husband? There's a lot of catching up to do, you know, you left it.
I think I would look for a best friend.
A best friend?
Yeah.
Wow, that's sweet.
Yeah. I think that's
And does
the
it
most-
matter whether the best friend is Singaporean, foreigner? Do you think you can find the best friend among Singaporeans, or are foreigners more exciting for you?
I think no, personally Singaporeans. Yeah, I
Why?
think they click better. I think it's probably the culture. Yeah. Yeah. That's personally my opinion. So I think I'll probably be better able to connect deeper with a Singaporean.
Rosie, you better challenge her.
Yeah, I was about to challenge her. What values do you think locals have that we don't have? Because this is what I've been faced with my whole life. When our marriage was quite unusual 30 years ago, because it tended to be the other way around. And people would make assumptions about me that I didn't do housework, for example, that I would sleep around, that I would smoke, I would drink, I would take drugs, and every Chinese
Did you?
wedding. No, of course not. And that's what my in-laws thought. They were so disappointed. It's the truth.
Relieved.
I mean, now
Relieved.
they love me
Relieved.
dearly and I love them, but that's all they could see, and they had all these stereotypes in their heads of how Westerners are. Westerners are no different from anybody else. There are good people, there are bad people, there are selfish people, there are kind people. People are the same, and that's what you learn when you live in a mixed marriage. You know, you get all the crazy aunties, you get the nice ones. We are the same. We maybe express it slightly differently, and perhaps we are more willing to do it more openly. But she's not afraid to speak out in the way that, I mean, she's just like me.
No, but she's different.
Singaporean. No, she's not different. She's not different.
Yeah.
She really isn't.
Okay, but I want to get down to the reality itself, okay? Because there are a lot of people who believe in traditional values, who
I
look for
believe in
okay, who look for men who look for traditional wives and as defined by their mothers, and women who look for traditional husbands. And I think that Rosie had a case of a friend, an Indian friend in Singapore, who was also looking for a traditional wife, which is not unusual at all. So what happened there?
Well, you know, the matchmaking industry is very big in India. You know, so obviously, even in the 21st century we're living now, people are relying a lot on this. I think there is a big disparity of one having an aspiration of what a wife is supposed to be, but in the meantime, the women has evolved. We go to the same school, we are educated in the same university, we're exposed to the same culture, the same MTV generation film, and so one is man expectation that a woman has to be subservient, you know, culturally. It's a serving attitude, you know, of taking care of the house and all. And at the same time, this husband expects also the wife to go out, get a job, help support the family. You know, the women are doing all this now. In Asia, women has always worked. I think these are working class, right?
So what happened to your Indian friend?
So my Indian friend expect that, you know, so he said, oh, you know, she's supposed to be traditional, mindset, you know, meaning she has to conform to his standard. And I said, well, I said she's educated. She has a university degree, speaks fluent English. She's an educator because she's happened to be a teacher.
This was a wife from India, a traditional wife from India.
Yeah.
Match made for him.
Yeah, match made for him. So they look at all the stars and horoscope, and so finally he married her. Lovely woman, now they have 2 children. But initially when they said, oh no, she has to wear the traditional Indian outfit when she goes out. And I said, yeah, I said, sure. I said, would you expect your daughter to dress like that? And he paused for a while and he said, I said, yeah, if possible. I said, yeah, but she lives in Singapore, they have jeans, MTV. How are you going to stop her? She said, well, I would feel better if but my wife has to be. But down the road, when I see this couple, she's as modern as any Singaporean, So, of course, it's not something I recommend. Say, look, you want your wife to be, like this, and she turned out something else. I think, above all, I think he comes to accept the fact that in a marriage, I think, above all, it's 2 people coming together. It is not I and you become we. It becomes we in the family context. You are still I and you. You are attracted to that person because he or she has certain quality that you respect, you admire, you can agree with, you can, culturally, mentally, intellectually come to be in line, and you evolve, you evolve together as a couple, and we go down the galaxy way, whatever, but we evolve.
What galaxy?
Yes.
I'm kidding.
If we don't evolve together, then we start to go different. Yes. That's where we start to separate.
Yeah. But the fact remains that it began with a man who had traditional expectations of his wife. Yes. And the fact remains also that in Singapore, we do have many men and whose parents also expect their wives to be traditional wives.
Yes.
And because sometimes they cannot find that among the women, and by the way, the number of unmarried women, the highest percentage for unmarried women you would find among the graduate women. And I think that this is also because of the incompatibility of expectations of the husband and how the husband expects the woman to behave. But I want to cite you 2 examples, and this is the roaring business that marriage agencies enjoy. One of them is Blissful Marriage Consultants, who match makes about 10 couples a year, and he charges 5,888 for each case. His agency was set up in 2004, deals specifically with Hainanese brides. Why? Because they are more virtuous and family-oriented than Singaporean women. Now, if Singaporean men do not want career-minded Singaporean women, I give them an alternative to date virtuous Hainanese women, he said. He has contacts and an office in Hainan, which generates a constant pool of Hainanese women looking to pair up with Singaporean men.
For chicken rice.
No, that's another case. Another agency, Life Partner Matchmaker. He says that many men joined his dating agency because they don't want to waste a number of years without getting a life partner. So they come to us. It's faster, and the stigma of going to matchmakers has also gone down. His women are from Vietnam, and he used to get many cases, but recently, because of the economic downturn, he's getting fewer. But previously, he could get up to 6 cases, and he charges $10,000 for each virtuous virgin bride. So we have to live with the fact that tradition prevails, and that the views that
buying a wife is tradition. And I'm possibly the only person in this room who actually has a family member who bought a bride out of a catalogue. So, in principle, marriage is a contract. Everything else is, because it really is a contract. And you either believe in the institution and you keep it going, through compromise, and, all the rest is extra and very nice. But it's a contract. And I have no objection to somebody picking a woman out of a catalogue, so long as you're going to treat her with decency and kindness. Yeah. And my sister-in-law, who's from the Philippines, and she literally was picked out of a catalogue, she's wonderful. And she had no illusions about marrying my brother. She came from a poor region, and she thought she was going to a better life. I don't know that it really was, but she was very sincere about it, and she stuck by my brother, who was not an easy person to live with. So, you know, going to a matchmaker and so on, it's okay, but it's the spirit that you enter into the contract with. If you just want a slave, you should be stuck in a cave and left there, you know. But if you're looking for a partner, someone to have children with, to share a life with, there's nothing wrong with going to Vietnam and getting a bride if she has the same mindset. But it's how do you judge a person who you really do not know? You know, do they really want the same objective as you?
Because a lot of the time, I mean, you just read in the papers, and it wasn't long ago, a few days back, where you have foreign spouses who are badly treated in a marriage. You know, most of them are women. There's a Singaporean man marrying foreign women. I think it's just a mindset. You know, people, man, being the traditional man, they always believe that the women should just listen to what? There's no opinion to be given. You're supposed to look after the house, rear children, breed, you know, and that's it. But they forget that along the way, women are empowered. Women are more educated. Women travel, see, with MTV, television, cable TV, you have the world at your doorstep. You don't need to travel far. When before you need to go to cinema and watch a foreign movie, now you turn on your TV, you have everything. So people learn. Whatever it is, whether it's one way, passive or not, it gets onto you, and people aspire to live a good life. There's nothing wrong with aspiring to have money, to be rich.
Women are evolving faster than men, and if they don't catch up, then they will be.
But men always expect women have to. But I tell you,
I think I'm surrounded by emancipated women, and I think the Singaporean men might not feel comfortable with.
Ask Grace. I mean, you
know, they're perfectly comfortable.
They're not.
No,
That's
I
very
don't
slow.
know. I would say this. I have a lot of Facebook friends. They're all young people, you know, like yourselves, and a lot of them are married. They've got children. Yeah, and I think the other part of the statistics will show that there are a lot of very good marriages, whether it's local and local or local and foreign, and can be either way. They bring up children in the right way, and with the right. But I think at the end of the day, this is what we hope for Singapore. You know, have a proper wholesome marriage, bring up the family in the right way with the right values, and march on. I think if you study the statistics a little bit deeper, you will find that those who marry foreign brides may come from a certain strata or area of the society. I don't know. I'm only saying this from the top of my head. And there might be good reasons why they have gone for foreign wives. How they treat them, that's another question. Okay, we can say we disagree. And it has happened, we know, we read it in the papers. And we hope that these behaviors will change.